2 days ago, I made a video giving my take on where Micah Morris is at right now. And after that video, almost immediately after uploading, I received a call from him, a lengthy one. We're gonna talk about it. I don't hold stuff back from you guys, so we're gonna chat about it today. Hit that subscribe button. It's your last chance to subscribe before the end of the $100 Good gift card giveaway. 40% off Black Friday on their site right now. Lots of options for you guys to choose from, so you want to be subscribed. Hit that button, double check if you are. Going to pick a winner early next week for the $100 gift card. You can get whatever you want off their site. All right, happy American Thanksgiving. No video yesterday because I realized that the majority of my audience was spending time with their family. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you had a good Thanksgiving. But this one was kind of sitting on me for that whole day, and I kind of wanted to make it, but I decided I'd hold off until today. I want to chat to you guys about that phone call because it was interesting. A lot of people have interesting perceptions of my relationship with Micah, or at least even like what I think about him. I have been critical of his channel in the past, for sure, but I've been very careful, in my opinion, of, just like with anyone, being critical of the channel, the product, not the influencer, the person, you know? And like, there are certain things that you might point to in a channel of like strengths and weaknesses of their channel based off their personality, but that's not a negative necessarily on a personality. It's just based off the channel. So I've talked about it before. I've talked about the ups. I've talked about the downs of his channel. I've talked about everything because that's a big part of what I do here is I talk about and cover the YouTube golf space. And I really treat YouTube golf like professional golf, where their performance of their videos on YouTube is the same as an athlete's performance at a PGA Tour event on tour. So if they post a video and it's like really entertaining, then I talk about it and it's great and they did really well and it's almost like they won a tournament and I cover it in that way. But if they're posting videos that aren't doing well, or they're posting videos that are kind of weird, or the channel's doing weird things, I also cover that, just like you would if an athlete is struggling. All the times they talk about Scotty Scheffler's putting or Victor Hovland's short game before this year, or whatever you want to talk about covering in the professional golf world. That's how I treat my coverage in YouTube golf. By the way, video playing behind me, this is Peter Finch's video where they tried to break 59 when he was down there in Florida. Awesome video. Go watch it. I love these guys together, but I also love Pete Finch in general, an OG of the YouTube golf space. Okay, so getting right down to it, we hopped on the phone. I actually had a missed call from him first. It was quite quickly after I posted the video. I was on another call, and I hopped on the phone with him, and he actually started off the call, no exaggeration, this is what he said to me. He said, "Hey Nate," said, "I'm extremely disappointed in your video." That's what he said to me. That's how he started the call. "I'm extremely disappointed in your video today." And I went like, what are you talking about? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, what are you talking about? What do you mean you're disappointed in my video? Anyways, 2 seconds later, he's like, no, I'm kidding. I'm not actually disappointed. I just thought I'd get you. And I'm like, yeah, like, I didn't even really believe it because I'm like, I didn't say anything super negative. But he actually went on because I had texted him that morning. So transparency with you guys. I texted him that morning to try to get a bit of a confirmation from him on what he thought about what I was going to say. And I kind of briefed him on it, just like, hey, here's my thoughts about where you're at, where your channel's at, what your goals are. Essentially, if you didn't watch the video, I just kind of said in general that he is not trying to be the biggest YouTuber. He did not leave Good to pursue tour level pro golf necessarily. If he got there, that was great, a bonus, but he wanted to pursue just more professional tournaments and have more time to devote to his game. But he also wanted to be able to pursue business opportunities outside of YouTube, like the Airbnb stuff, have time to put towards that and family, be able to move to Florida, do all these things. These were goals of his on leaving Good. So I think the Florida thing actually came after, but I said all those other things to him in the text, and I was like, hey, can you give me some confirmation? He was at TaylorMade Media Day, phone, he's like, hey, sorry I didn't get back to you. I saw the text last night, but I was basically just exhausted because they were at TaylorMade Media Day for filming. I mean, he actually didn't say they're at, he was very particular about not saying they're at TaylorMade Media Day because I think they're not allowed to say that right now, but he was at TaylorMade Media Day. I can tell you guys that. I'm almost sure of it. Anyways, filming content, all of those crazy athletes, lots of cool videos that come from that. You guys have already seen the Instagram post. So he was just exhausted and he didn't have the time to like think up the reply, but basically that he watched the video and he thought I did a really good job of representing where he's at. Basically, obviously there's stuff, and this, I know this, but like there is stuff that's just like, it's probably always going to be behind the scenes. I would assume, this is just me talking, I think there's always going to be stuff that's left behind the scenes, but as far as things that are going to come to light and going to be public, he basically told me that I hit the nail on the head for the most part with, you know, my analysis of that and kind of where he's at and where he's going. We had some great conversations. Him and I do talk behind the scenes a lot about, well, not a lot, but every once in a while about like content stuff. And obviously I have my strengths on YouTube that I'll kind of like talk to other creators about and kind of help with where I can. And so, you know, we had lots of conversations, and the dude is definitely like, one thing that's surprised me about Micah, given the fact that like he's not trying to make YouTube his North Star, is that he still is putting effort into YouTube. It is still fully a business that he is trying to grow and whatever. He's just not Grant, and he knows that, and he talks about that. He commented on that video that he thinks Grant's going to be the biggest solo YouTuber. He firmly believes that. We talked about that on the phone. Like, he very much does believe that and big up him, but that doesn't mean it. And it's hard for me to wrap my head around too, right? Because it's like, I've always known on YouTube, in order to make it, you really do have to be obsessed with it. And I think his situation's maybe a little different, where it's like he's obviously already made it. He already has his following. He already has his platform from Good and his time there and creating videos while he was a part of them, and all the collaborations with GM Golf and Garrett and everything they built and have together and whatever. He has his audience already. So once you're at that point and you have a relatively loyal following like he does, you don't have to be as like obsessive compulsive about it in order to just maintain the business and grow it steadily. If you want to be the biggest, the best, the Grant Horvath challenging Rick and GM, then you have to be totally obsessed with it. And he talks about that. He talks about how Grant is just like always talking about titles, always talking about thumbnails, always just like fully putting everything into every video. And Micah is, but it's like there's also other things going on. But nevertheless, I was impressed with the amount that he was still wanting to talk YouTube and still wanting to nerd out about stuff and like, how can I better this? Always asking for criticism and advice. Like, the dude definitely cares about the quality of the content he puts out. Yeah, I mean, I think from what he said, my representation that like he is still trying to play pro golf, obviously, and he's practicing and whatever, and he has that lifestyle now, but it's not, he's saying that it's not, the goal hasn't been just to make it at the top level. It's not, there's a misconception that like leaving Good, it was, I'm immediately good enough to just step on fast track to the Korn Ferry Tour and PGA Tour, which I do think a lot of us sort of thought he thought. Like, the way he maybe came out and said things about pursuing pro golf, I think, you know, Micah admits it himself all the time that like he's not the best sometimes with words and like putting stuff together and like really clearly communicating what he's trying to say. Like, there's a reason why he makes videos playing golf and I make videos talking about golf. He's way better at golf than me, and I'm a talker. That's what I do. So, you know, I think, I'm not trying to say that he didn't say certain things, but I do think I do believe him when he says that his intentions were not to say like, I'm coming out and immediately just fast tracking to top at and pro golf. I'm going to pursue professional golf because he's obviously good enough to play in pro tournaments. We've seen him shoot 7 under in a pro tournament on his YouTube channel. Like, the dude's good enough to play in like mini tour events and whatever. It's just about finding that game and having that game click and being able to get better and develop and whatever. So I don't know. I know I'm gonna get a bunch of comments on this one like, nah, you're a Micah apologist, man, you're like sucking on his dick or whatever. But it's like, it's so funny. I number one don't care, but I also know that like if I was to come on here and like, this is my true opinion, I'm always honest with you guys. I always tell you guys exactly what I think, exactly how I feel. Like, I don't ever sugarcoat stuff. I don't ever, you know, whatever, lie to you guys or anything or try to make things a certain way. But I know that if I came on here and my opinion happened to be more negative towards Micah, then there'd be a bunch of people being like, wow, you're just doing that because good. And I'm sitting here with my payroll deal with good telling you that I really support what Mike is doing right now. I enjoy his content and I believe him with a lot of the stuff he's saying. So that's just my honest opinion. I'm always going to give you guys my honest opinion. Nothing is ever going to get in the way of that. Like, contrary to what everyone believes, good never ever has told me what to say or what not to say. I say whatever I want. Like, they just pay me to wear their clothes on camera. That's it. That's where the involvement and level of like mix ends. That's it. So I'm saying what I want to say, and that's what I want to say. So let me know your thoughts on it in the comments below, guys. I wanted to brief you guys on that. It was an interesting call. It was an interesting kind of reaction. I wasn't expecting it. Obviously, I kind of like picked up my phone. I was like, Micah Morris, what the heck? What is he calling me for? So anyways, very interesting. Wanted to share that with you guys. Enjoy your weekend. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.